Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and in this video today, I'm going to be sharing some recent moves that I made in the stock market. As many of you know that are familiar with my channel, when I do make a stock purchase, I like to keep you all up to date and post a video on it, and basically include my breakdown of that stock and my analysis, and why I am purchasing it and putting my money into that. So in this video, I'll be giving that explanation as always, and of course revealing the stock that I purchased as well. But before we go on any further, I just want to say if you enjoy these types of videos, then please make sure to smash that like button, drop a like on the video. I've been noticing that y'all have been doing that a lot lately, and I really do appreciate it. I know it's easy to forget about sometimes, especially if you're a consistent viewer, but I would really appreciate it if you just take a few seconds to do that, and then maybe subscribe as well if you're interested in future videos like these, and if you do enjoy this video. But anyways, back onto the main topic. Before we even jump into me talking about my recent purchases in the stock market, I'll go ahead and open these free stocks from Vivian and Sam. Big shout out to both of these people for signing up with my referral links. I really do appreciate it, and these guys are on the right track now as well, because now they're beginning investing. They know how the Robinhood platform works, and of course they have my videos to help out as well, just to provide some general basic knowledge. But as always, keep in mind that anything that I say in these videos is not to be considered financial advice. It's simply just me talking about my thoughts and opinions about the market. So just make sure to not take my word too serious on things. But big thank you to Vivian and Sam for signing up. And let's go ahead and open up one of these. So I'm gonna pick this one right here. See what we get. Imagine if we get Microsoft or something. Sorrento 470, I'll take that. For sure, that's free $5. Big thank you to Vivian. Thank you so much, Vivian. And then next up we have Sam's free stock. So let's go ahead and get this one. Ooh, okay. Cody, COTY 573. So that was like $10 that we got right there, just from people signing up with referral links. And keep in mind, you can do the same thing as well. You can sign up with my referral link and then refer some of your other friends out there as well, and you and your friend will get a free stock. So feel free to sign up with my link and you'll get some free stocks like that. But jumping straight into this topic today, I recently bought one more share of Microsoft. Like I said, not a super big deal. I think I spent like $187 on it. Yeah, as you can see, I actually paid a pretty high price for Microsoft stock. That's the most I've ever paid for a share of Microsoft, and at that point when I bought it, I think it was at its all-time high. But as you can see, I spent $187.93. That was at 2:28 p.m. yesterday, and with that factored in, my average cost is $171.29. I own 194 shares. This takes up about 44% of my portfolio, so a very significant amount. And then, of course, Microsoft is up 1.02% today, which is about $370 in gains. And overall, Microsoft has treated me very well so far. I'm up $3,700, which is about 11%. So I'm very satisfied with my choice to invest in this stock. But just to explain a little bit of logic why I did make that purchase yesterday, and especially at that high price. Yesterday, I posted a video explaining why I basically spent the rest of my cash funds on Tesla stock. So I had about $5,000 in cash that I had waiting on the sidelines. And just to give you a quick breakdown of my thinking, I have taxes coming up next month on the 15th, so I have to pay the taxes by the 15th. And where I'm self-employed, I'm not really sure how much I owe just yet, so there is kind of an unknown factor to how much I have to pay in taxes. So that was another reason why I had the cash on the sidelines. But yesterday, I put a lot of that cash into Tesla stock, and then of course the remaining amount after I bought as many Tesla shares as I could, I put that 187 into Microsoft stock. And of course, with the 130 left, we can't really buy any of the three stocks that I have in my portfolio. So my logic with that was I wanted to go ahead and spend the money I had in my cash account for Robinhood, because I knew that around tax time I would be tempted to just withdraw this $5,000 and put it into my tax money. But if you think about that, that's $5,000 out of my stock portfolio, which makes a huge difference. Even though it was sitting as cash, regardless, it wasn't making any movements for me. It would still be discouraging to go back down to like $78,000. So I didn't want to do that, and I thought, okay, I'll just be able to come up with some of the money that I'll need for taxes when it's time. And I'm already working on that right now, just selling some stuff that I don't need. And honestly, that's a good thing for me, because it forces me to get rid of some stuff that I realize that I don't need. So basically what happened was I spent a lot of my cash yesterday just because I didn't want to be tempted to take it out to put into my tax payment in July. So with that, I prioritized buying Tesla shares first, and then with the leftovers, I spent it on Microsoft stock. And then I have one more upcoming plan, since I'm not going to be able to put a lot of money into Robinhood in the next month or so. I do have a plan with with the 130 left that I do have in Robinhood, plus I have a dividend of 57.63. So if I only owe a few bucks to get one more share of Microsoft by the time that I get this dividend, I may just add like 10 or 20 bucks from my bank account and then buy one more share and just even it out at 195, because especially if I'm getting a dividend for about $60, I might as well put that into Microsoft stock, similar to the drip feature. I mean, there's a way to do that automatically, but I personally just don't like buying fractional shares. I would rather just own the full share, so I just wait until I have the full money to buy one whole share. So that's my logic and thinking for the upcoming month or so. Like I said, I won't be able to be buying a lot of Microsoft or Tesla stock just because, like I said, I have to sell some things and then, of course, come up with the money that I'm going to need to pay on taxes. So all of the money that I have and will be getting for the next month or so, I can't put it into stocks because I have to prioritize this tax payment. But as you can see, Microsoft hit a record 190 today. I think this is the highest it has ever been. Yeah, this is the highest it has ever been. I think the previous high was at 188.70. So yeah, this is significantly past the previous all-time high, which is pretty impressive. And I've been preaching this stock to many people over and over. I have plenty of videos just like these talking about how I've purchased Microsoft stock and what I think for the future. So I'm trying not to be super repetitive because I know I have some consistent viewers that have watched those videos before, but I also realize that I have new viewers as well. So I try to balance all of that out. And it's kind of funny because I find today's price a little bit ironic because I remember I was on Reddit yesterday. I like to look at like Wall Street bets and of course r/investing and stuff like that just to see what people are saying. And there was one thread that was basically like, what are some undervalued stocks out there in the stock market right now? Because of course, as we all realize, a lot of these stocks in the stock market are a little bit overvalued, and some of these stocks are just too expensive for me to want to buy in because I feel like as soon as I buy in, it will drop back down because it's just too high of a value. So there was of course a forum question that was basically, what are some stocks that you think are undervalued? And of course I posted Microsoft stock and I got downvoted, and then somebody replied and said, yeah, go ahead and invest in a company that's at an all-time high with a $1.44 trillion market cap, and everybody upvoted it. But it just shows you how out of touch a lot of people are right now, where if something is automatically at an all-time high, they think that it's overvalued, but they don't realize that that is generally what a stock does. The ideal thing that a stock can do is to constantly be at an all-time high. I mean, we've seen that with Tesla stock in early February and stuff like that. So I think that is one problem with the stock market, especially with r/investing. For me, it seems like that's a more reserved investing subreddit, and you would think that everybody preaches the buy and hold long-term strategy, but I'm constantly seeing posts where people are talking about, should I cash out? Should I withdraw from the market? And it seems like there's a lot of people that want to time the market when that's mainly a subreddit that emphasizes buying and holding long-term, and of course buying index funds and stuff like that. So there is like a weird inconsistency in the market right now, where generally throughout history, the common recommendation by people is to buy something and hold it for the long term and not try to time the bottoms and time the peaks of the market. And that's my whole logic with this right here, and I think that's some good information. Of course, my portfolio differs from some other typical investing strategies. Like, of course, there's commonly the recommendation of trying to diversify your portfolio, which is something that I don't really do. I just invest in 3 main stocks. But my whole logic about this is I buy and hold long term, regardless of what happens in the meantime. I don't pay attention to that. If it drops, I simply buy more. And as you can see with my all-time portfolio, this has paid off for me. And I remember at this peak when it finally started dropping, everybody was panicking, saying how you should sell before it goes way, way down. And there's the greatest recession of all time that we've ever had. And all the way down I was buying, and people are saying, you shouldn't have bought here. It's going to go lower. And of course I realized it could go lower and it could not go lower. But if it does go lower, then I just buy more. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Aside from Microsoft stock, even though the majority of us know that the best strategy is to buy and hold long term and pretend that money almost doesn't even exist and don't ever withdraw it until retirement. But then it seems like those same people that preach that want to withdraw the money as soon as we see like a red day in the stock market because they're afraid another crash is coming. But sometimes you just have to hold through the crash and then take advantage of that opportunity and buy when the stock is on sale. And that's exactly what I did with Microsoft stock, and that's why it has made me so much much money. This would actually be a higher percentage if I hadn't have invested like $12,000 into this stock just recently. I think I was already at like 14% in gains before I put like $12,000 into this. So Microsoft stock has done very well for me, and one of the main reasons that it has is because I bought it on the way down. This was the major stock that I was buying as the stock market was dropping and declining. And of course, like last night, there's always going to be some stock market bears that are going to try to put you down and of course go against your due diligence and the research that you've done on the stock. And that's the thing. That's why you really have to research your own stocks, because if you don't research your own stocks and then everyone else starts telling you that you've made a bad choice, you're obviously, it's human nature for you to think, okay, am I wrong? Are these guys actually right? Should I listen to them? And then of course you sell and listen to them, and then that stock that you sold skyrockets, and it of course becomes a good stock for the long term. So that's the thing. That's why I commonly emphasize, no matter what I say, no matter what everyone else says in the stock market, I think it is a good idea to do your own research, even if it's a stock that looks like easy money that you think you're interested in and a lot of other investors are big into as well. Just make sure to do your own research, because when you do your own research and you do your homework, when someone questions you or calls out your stock or says something negative about your stock, you can kind of have that mental fortitude of, okay, I'm going to ignore this person because they haven't done the research like I have. And that's exactly the attitude that I have with Tesla stock, and the attitude that I have with my other stocks as well, like Microsoft stock and Apple stock. Especially, I would say the majority of this example goes into Tesla stock, but I think it applies to Microsoft stock as well. Obviously, it is at all-time highs right now, and there's some uncertainty in the market, but that doesn't mean that this stock cannot grow in the future. I mean, if you look at its earnings, I don't understand how someone can be against Microsoft stock when it consistently beats earnings like this. I mean, look, Q3, Q2, Q1, Q4, Q3, Q2, Q1, every single one of these has beat earnings since Q1 2019, and this stock is still undervalued. Even at the 190 price, the fair value is 196, and this was the example that I was bringing up on the Reddit post as well. I know these fair values aren't always accurate, but a lot of the times these fair values are actually undervaluing stocks. So when I see this at 196 and Microsoft is actually under 196, and I've already done my research on Microsoft and understand the potential of this, and of course considering the fact that the research reports are usually undervaluing stocks, then this is just another big aspect of why I think this is a good option to purchase even at 190. I think that this could be one of those very consistent growth stocks that will do well in the future for me, and especially for the long term, which is what I'm looking at investing for. Normally, I don't really focus on stocks that I will have to sell in 5 years or stocks that I will have to sell in 1 year. I try to pick a stock that I can passively invest in and not have to worry about, of course, reorganizing my investments, taking money out of Microsoft stock and putting it into the next big stock. I just want a stock that I can easily buy and hold it for the next 40 years to where it's actually passive income. Something that actually does qualify as passive income, where it doesn't take any effort really whatsoever. And that's exactly what I'm looking for with a stock like Microsoft. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I tried to touch on some different aspects this time since I've already broken down Microsoft as a company and stuff like that. Plus, I'll probably be mentioning this in like a top 3 list as well upcoming soon, so I didn't want to repeat myself too much. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to smash that like button. It really does help me out, and I really appreciate it. And if you would like to begin investing, feel free to use my referral link down in the description below. I'd really appreciate it. But I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. Stay safe out there.